So at the current point in Rainbow Six Siege's lore, Team Rainbow has officially been shut down. This came after a majority vote from the Global Security Alliance Council, the overseeing committee who controls Rainbow and has the power to put in motions such as this. With much of the reasoning behind this, the shortcomings and failures of Rainbow themselves. After a string of major events such as the assault on Tower, resulting in dead Rainbow recruits, and then the following assault on Hereford Base, again taking the lives of more Rainbow recruits, as well as other Rainbow staff such as signal officers, and with members of the Global Security Alliance Council also being targeted by the Kaze Legion as well, they have simply lost faith in Team Rainbow and see the current situation a lot safer without them. Well, the final moments of the most recent comic book show us that Rainbow were able to buy themselves a little bit more time thanks to Nighthaven's help, and they have been allowed to do one final mission to attempt to stop Phobos in Detroit once and for all. But if we rewind a tiny bit during this conflict which is happening in Detroit, more so to the start of it, there was a small plotline being told which was seemingly referring to a new gadget for Thatcher, which we can assume is currently being finished and will be ready prior to Rainbow's deactivation, and may actually already be operating in the background. So let me give some context here. If you weren't aware, many of the gadgets which are available for us as the player in Rainbow Six Siege are narratively made by either Rainbow's R&D department, which is led by Mira, or Nighthaven's QCR department, which is led by Osa. The only gadget that I can think of off the top of my head which hasn't been made by either Rainbow or Nighthaven is the death mark tracker which Deimos uses. Though being very similar to tech which is used by the US military, this death marker has either been replicated by the Kaze Legion, bought on the black market, or stolen in some way, shape or form. The most recent gadgets that have been made have been the Dom panel and the Dom panel launcher, which was made by Mira, as well with the assistance of Rohaan herself giving notes. We also have Blackbeard's hull adaptable shield. This was again made by Mira and Rainbow's R&D department. We also have Clash's CCE Mark II shield, which was originally from Rainbow. However, this Mark II upgrade was made by the assistance of Osa in Nighthaven's QCR department, as are the trip connectors which are used by Denari, a Nighthaven agent. So both Mira and Osa and their subsequent teams are responsible for the gadgets we get and the ones our operators use. Now we know in Year 10 Season 4 we are getting a remaster of a legacy attacker. This is one of the attackers that were implemented in the game alongside launch and narratively have been with Rainbow since the reactivation of this roster. And based on Battle Pass info from last season, Operation Daybreak, we know that Osa was not only working on something else, but there was also dialogue and meetings between her and Thatcher. Let's take a look at this. So this is taking place at the base of operations they are using for this Detroit operation, which is of course what we play as in Dualfront. The first information we had for this small plotline is from Pulse saying, Osa just arrived. She was working on that shield the whole flight over. Now she says she needs to finish something else. So what he is referring to there is the shield she was working on was Clash's CCE Mark II. This was a part of the lore for Operation Daybreak where we got this Clash remaster, so that is what Pulse is referring to. Then going on, he says that she needs to finish something else. Then we have one from Sledge, who is deployed in Detroit here, where Osa has now landed, and he says, Osa, the forward operation base is not for tinkering. We neither have the time nor the bloody space. Again, showing that now that she is actually in Detroit and here on this mission, she is still working on a gadget. And then the third piece here, which ties this all to Thatcher, is from Scopos talking to him, saying, get over it, Thatcher. If Osa says she needs extra materials, you give them to her. Now, I do want to point out, this is very similar to the way that Blackbeard's new shield was also somewhat teased in the narrative as well. After he was watching Deimos at Hereford Base, and then Scopos and all that took over, he mentioned that he needs to go hand his rifle shields into Mira, where she would subsequently finish making his new shield. And the same seems to be happening here with Thatcher and Osa. Osa was working on Clash's shield. She may have potentially gotten an idea from this. I guess they are kind of similar to a certain extent when it comes to electricity and EMP effects, so she immediately started working on and trying to finish an upgrade for Thatcher, hence why she was so desperate to get it finished during this mission, and why she needs extra materials from Thatcher himself. Now, this was something that I did state during my original analysis of this Battle Pass lore, but now that we are getting just a few weeks away from the reveal of this season, and the fact we know that there are going to be some form of EMP changes coming in this season, which is officially stated on the roadmap itself, it definitely seems like the narrative has 100% been setting this up as a remaster for Thatcher, and that this new gadget is going to be created by Osa. Now, if you follow the narrative, you kind of know that a lot of stuff is up in the air right now. Like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Rainbow has officially been deactivated. They have one last mission to partake in Detroit, and honestly, it seems that whether or not this mission is a success or not, Rainbow are going to be deactivated. Because like what the GSAC said, it's not like they're going to deactivate Rainbow and just let the Kaze Legion run rampant. They're still going to deal with the Kaze Legion in different ways. So if Rainbow successfully stop Phobos, for example, I still think they're going to be shut down. If they fail to stop Phobos, they're also going to be shut down, and then someone else is going to deal with that, potentially Nighthaven. It doesn't seem like Nighthaven will have the same baggage as Rainbow, despite the fact that we know that their reputation has taken a bit of a downwards turn. But we haven't really heard much about Osa and Thatcher and this new potential gadget she is making since the beginning of this Detroit operation. After this, we would then mainly follow the main arc of saving Dokkaebi, the bombs around the city, where we'd follow Denari and all the operators now finding the server room and stuff like that. So there has been parts in the background we've not seen of Osa and Thatcher over this arc. We only saw them at the start. So by all means, when, you know, Ash, Callie, and Denari are walking away at the end of this comic book and they have their final mission to attempt to stop Phobos, by now this gadget could be completely finished. It may be ready by Osa, and Thatcher may use it in the field. And heck, whatever this upgrade is, whatever this new thing that Osa and Thatcher have cooked up, may be the key to stopping Phobos. I have a feeling if this remaster is going to be Thatcher, we are going to see him in this narrative, in this final mission. He's going to come in with this new gadget, and it's going to serve a new purpose. And just like how he's been around since the first mission that this roster has been on, he's going to be there for the last. Now, keep in mind, I could be completely wrong here. There could be no correlation between Osa and this gadget that's being made and whatever remaster we get in Year 10 Season 4. However, it does seem like this is going to be the likely case, and they don't put these pits in the narrative for no reason. Rainbow Six Siege doesn't have a lot of room to work with to tell a story, so they always make sure that what they are saying is important, whether that's for world building, character building, or progressing the plot forward. So whatever it is that Osa's been cooking up for Thatcher, I'm quite excited to see what it is, and of course, I'm excited to see how the narrative goes going forward. And something especially interesting, if this is Osa making a new gadget for Thatcher, and she was making one for Clash, and she made the one for Clash, if Rainbow do get deactivated and this relationship between Nighthaven once again breaks up, but against their will this time, I wonder who will be making these new gadgets going forward. Will Rainbow even still be around to activate them? I think there's a very high chance that in Year 11, if Rainbow do get deactivated, we may simply not get any new Rainbow operatives. We could get potentially new Kaze Legion operatives, Nighthaven operatives, or if Rainbow go down a different route, we may be seeing some potential legacy operators. This could go many different ways, and I'm really excited to see how this narrative goes going forward. So be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my Rainbow Six 1998 entire lore video. That is the very beginning of Rainbow Six lore, and I'm going to continue making videos from that point. My goal is to get a lot of them finished prior to Year 11, so I'm going to be working my butt off over these next few months. And of course, I will also make an updated entire lore video of Rainbow Six Siege itself, all the way up until Year 11. So that means you guys have decades worth of content to watch, you know, for the entire narrative, then through Siege, and it sets us up for Year 11. I'm really excited to do all that, so make sure you check out that video that's already out. Make sure you're subbed for more. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that Osa is making a brand new gadget for Thatcher in Rainbow Six Siege and in the lore? Have a great rest of your day. I love you all. Stay safe. Have a good one.